Hey you maggots, listen up. That's not what Sauron wants. No more deaths allowed. Did you hear me? Hello my friends and welcome to my very fourth video. Today we're going to ask the question, can you beat The Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth 2, The Evil Campaign without losing a single unit? Here's a quick refresher of the rules. Feel free to skip if you want. First, no unit I control can die. Otherwise I have to reload. Although there's an exception to this rule. If I have to save units that are not mine, for example from a skirmish, or if I get only control after they are close to dying, then I am allowed to save the battalion and single soldier deaths do not count. Of course, I will try my best to prevent this. Second, summoned units like Tom Bombadil die when they expire. Third, the campaign will be completed on hard difficulty on patch 109. Fourth, allied units must be saved as possible, but only as far as it's feasible. Fifth, bugs, glitches and exploits are allowed, but only if absolutely necessary. Oh, and AI manipulation and cheese is highly recommended. So let's jump right into action. Mission 1 starts us off in Lothlorien, the heart of the elves. We will rip it right out and crush it in front of them. 3 Nazgûls in the mouth of Sauron are our heroes for this mission, and they are more than enough for now. Their decent damage and mobility is excellent for a Deathless run. I move forward with them and kill some elves that were hiding in the trees. The only downside these heroes have is that they aren't really tanky, but with care and a little bit of attention, this shouldn't be a problem. Epic foreshadowing incoming. We cross the river and Haldir attacks us. Finally, I don't have to save him and instead can bury him right here and now. Unfortunately, he flees and leaves his troops to die. What a nice guy. I clear the map with my Black Riders and build my base up, or at least as far as I can. The next defender is again Haldir, and this time I will surely kill him. Oh, he runs away again. What a coward. Sometime later, I find a giant that's being held captive and I rescue him. Why the elves think it's a good idea to loosely restrain a giant, which then can easily be freed, is beyond me, but I digress. I rescue yet another giant and make my way through Lorien. My rider squad encounters a large group of enemies and I nearly have to evac, but they manage to kill them even if it's close. We saved the last giant of the mission, and now the only thing that stands between me and victory is Lady Galadriel and her lover Celebrimbor. Ugh! This will not be easy though. These 2 heroes deal massive damage and have high health. I need a plan. I let my heroes charge in and fight for as long as they can. As they get low, I pull them out and evac them to my main base. Galadriel follows them alone. Exactly what I needed. Honestly, I never noticed that Galadriel is quite fast for being on foot. Huh. Meanwhile, my giants show the elves what it's like to be stepped on. Galadriel arrives at my main base alone and gets shredded by its defenses. Sadly, she also flees like that coward Haldir. Now, I only need to kill Celebrimbor, and I gladly do. The total destruction of Lothlorien is near. I clear the enemies with my heroes and take Gara's Galadon. It takes massive damage, and then one of my heroes dies? Oh no, it had a ranged attack which targeted my Nazgûl with the lowest health and he died moments before the mission ends. Oh boy, and of course I didn't save because it's the first mission, so I have to replay the whole ordeal. Okay, after a really annoying replay of this mission, I finished the last building, this time around with my giants, and I win. We destroyed the elves' home and crushed their hope. The elven city Lothlorien is crushed. Now we must destroy their hopes of escape. Our next target are the Grey Havens. The foolish elves try to flee this land, but not with us. We start the mission with 2 ports and must build up our naval force. With some ships on the ocean, we destroy the first wave of fleeing elves. They try to reinforce their transport ships, but to no avail. They sink to their fallen brothers. Their naval force lies on the bottom of the ocean, where they belong. Now we take their land. We have to cover our transport ships that move to the shore. Everything goes well until our troops land. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You will lose a lot of units. Doesn't matter what you do. But at least you can reduce the losses with the following. Use catapult ships to focus fire some units and hope they hit actually. Immediately pull your units back when they get out of their ships. Lastly, take your ships as near as you can to the shore and provide cover fire with them. With this, you shouldn't lose that much, but still, this mission is not possible deathless. Unless you consider the units you get your allies, which I do. So I tried to save as much units as I could, and I did. It's not my fault that I control them. After the disaster on the shore, we get a base on the sandy sand, and we get to build. Gorkil, the Goblin King, also decided to join us. Weird name, by the way. I can't build much, but I don't need to. I only need towers to construct another wall of them, which I do. Then I slowly pull enemy units into them and let them burn. Gorkil is key to my strategy here. He's not really tanky and his damage is okayish, but at least he's a hero unit and can heal himself back up. So I try some different strategies, and of course the stupidest worked at the end. Okay, listen up. I move in with Gorkil, have to dodge the end rocks and hit the end one time. Then immediately move away until ranged troops the aggro. Then I move back in and do the same. I repeat this process until the end dies. Then up to the next one. It takes ages, but at the end it works. My ranged units come with me to provide additional fire support. They are really not tanky, and generally speaking orc troops are garbage. But if you can keep them untouched, at least they can deal some damage. I destroy the 2 fortresses of the Grey Havens and move on to the third... What? I can't move with my ground troops to the third base because... reasons? There's nothing stopping me, but okay. Yes, I need to destroy it with ships. So I do. Plenty catapult ships later, and the base dies with one big volley of fireballs, and the mission ends. With the elves defeated, our little Goblin King has another goal in mind. His ancestors fought the pesky little hobbits and lost. How the fuck did they lose? They are hobbits! He now wants to take his revenge. The mission starts off pretty basic. You get Gorkil, still a weird name by the way, and some orc units, but they're so squishy that you cannot really use them. We kill some little people and destroy their home. Now comes the fun part. When you get your builders, something happens simultaneously. First, you get 3 builders, a Dunland battalion, and after some time giants arrive. That's all great, but there's a catch. As soon as you trigger your builders, the Dunedain attack you with their troops from multiple sides. From behind, the sides, and even from the north. I tried to establish a base multiple times where you're supposed to, but to no avail. I'm simply not fast enough. I have to rethink. I trigger my builders and instantly pull all my units back. Immediately build towers on a strategic position and let Gorkil occupy the first incoming troops. As soon as I get control of the giants, I use them to help our king defend. With the towers finished, I can defend for a while without problems. The Dunedain are relentless and attack often and fierce. Sometimes even with trebuchets, which I have to take out before they can kill anything. Now the Dunedain are destroyed and the hobbits have no more way of defending themselves. With the Dunedain defeated, I forgot to pause my game. Now you can watch about 1 hour of gameplay. I started a little building project to the southwest. This will matter in a moment. Just be patient. I finish about 50 turrets and Gorkil destroys the last remaining hobbit buildings. Right after he does this, Grima Wormtongue arrives and gets one-shotted by about 100 arrows and dies. The mission ends. Nice! Normally you are supposed to witness a dialogue where Grima tries to take the newly acquired land from Gorkil and builds a base. The fight would be awfully long and hard, so I took the easy way and killed their leader. This was a fun way to end the mission, so we're moving on. The Uruks are gone and Grima Wormtongue knows now that betrayal can only end in death. The remaining Dunedain and the dwarves from the Blue Mountains make one final stand together in Fornost, and we will gladly put their lives to an end. In this mission, we start off in the outskirts of Fornost and must clear our way through enemies until we reach the castle deep inside. You start with many useless orcs and some spider riders, which aren't too useful either. So I build up my force for this mission, and this will be 4 giants and Gorkil. That's all I need. I slowly and very carefully clear my way through the outskirts of Fornost. The Dunedain are a nuisance, because they always come in small groups which can't defeat me, but are annoying nonetheless. At first, I thought my giants had limited life because there was no way to heal them, but I was wrong. If they hit level 3, they gain the auto heal ability out of combat, which is super useful. I don't know if this comes from a patch or it was always there. If you know, please let me know. With the outskirts destroyed, we see the other half of Fornost, and with it starts a timer for an enemy super weapon, the Earth Hammer. It's essentially an earthquake every 5 minutes somewhere in my base. I have to destroy it as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I'm not fast enough and the first strike hits me. It almost one-shots my base and some units that were stationed in it. They die. Okay, reload time. This time I evac my units and survive without a loss. My giant squad, haha, the double meaning, you know, because they are giant and there aren't really many. Okay, yeah, you get the joke. The troops make their way to the Earth Hammer and destroy it before it can fire again. At this point the giants are unstoppable. They are almost all at level 10, have way more health than Gorkle, which is ridiculous by the way, and deal absurd damage. Oh, and they can walk over enemy infantry to instantly kill them. The last objective stands before me and victory, the Fornost castle. Normally you'd have to clear the defenders to attack it, but I mean, we do have high range giants here, don't we? Yeah, one volley of rocks is enough to destroy the citadel, and I win before the enemy gets even close to my giants. That was a nice, even if slow mission. It felt like a good old micro mission. You should give it a try as well. Fornost lies in ruins and the Dunedain are broken. Now we get to take another holy land. This time from the elves. We attack Mirkwood. If this place falls, the elves will be demoralized and victory is near. The mission starts you off with Mordor and your favorite Nazgûls plus Shelob. That should be plenty enough to finish the mission. I build a base and creep forward with my heroes. There are ants on the other side of the river that bother me. We will have to change that. My forces cross the river and I reinforce the way with towers if I need to pull back. Ants start attacking me, but they are no match for the Nazgûls. They even have an ant mood here. It must be destroyed. Burn it to the ground. I slowly clear the ants. Yes, these are ants this time around, not tents, because they are not really tanky. Then pull my heroes back if needed and micro them as good as I can to avoid getting hit by rocks. This works well enough, but takes time. But with caution, I proceed, and sometime later, the ants in the ant mood are no more. My builders reinforce the area, and I meet some spiders. Apparently they are Shelob's children and want to help. Great. I get some useless units, park them in my base, and move on. Oh, and Shelob, next time your children want to help, please let them be useful. You know the drill by now. More reinforcing the way to the road. After I'm done, I make ready to move to the road we have to take. I move in, and now our goal is to construct 4 towers on the road and hold them for 2 minutes while the elves do the same. But I kinda cheat here. No one said that I can't use a fortress to defend, so I built one right in the middle and let it clear enemy attackers for me. This worked better than I expected. Some towers later, and I get another brilliant idea. Unfortunately, I can't build siege weapons in this mission, which would help me eliminate enemies from afar. But I can build walls, and on top of them I can buy upgrades. Guess which upgrade I can buy? Ding 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 ding, the catapult upgrade. Loophole found. I just do that and destroy an elven outpost and the troops from afar. Now the only thing left to do is to build the last towers and hold them for 2 minutes and I'm done. Oh, and kill King Thranduil because he's sitting in front of his base and he is really annoying me. So I let him feel my Nazgûl's blade and Shelob's poison and he soon dies. Then my tower finishes, the timer runs out and Mirkwood is mine. The elves are broken and flee. Mordor prevails. Now that we broke the elven spirit, it is time to make some new allies. Sauron wants an alliance with the dragons of the Wethered Heath, and we will gladly help him achieve this. The hatred of the dragons against the dwarves rivals Sauron's own. We start the mission with Mordor again and must save 4 groups of small dragons that were captured by the dwarves. I explore a bit, build up a fortress, and look for a strategy here. Only then I realized that actually one of my spellbook abilities technically counts as a unit. Oh no, the flying bats I sometimes use to debuff the enemy have a timed life and can technically die. Even if they don't count at the end. After a long break and rewatch of my captured footage, I had to replay 4 of 6 missions because I used the ability there. Nice. I will still use footage from the old attempts, but don't worry. I did not use that save to progress. Only took me another 3 or so hours. Okay, back to the mission. My plan is the following. Units get auto heal at level 3, right? So what if I carefully level up some trolls to level 3 and then crush the enemy with them? Sounds good? That's what I ended up doing, and it was a blast. I leveled 2 trolls to level 3, then another one, and even a drummer troll because he can buff my trolls even more. After they all reached level 3, it was basically over. No amount of dwarves could kill them, and even if there were too many, I could just pull back, heal up and go back in. This tactic made me really happy and I had a lot of fun. I blasted through the prisons, rescued the dragons and built a second fortress just because I felt so. Next goal is to bring the dragons to the Dragon Lord himself as a gesture of goodwill. Of course I ignore that and move in with my unstoppable troll force. Clear some level 5 men of Dale that stand no chance. I get smashed into the ground. I find the Dragon Lord and the mission ends. Oh, what? Really? I thought you had to bring his kind to him. Oh, guess we're done here. That was a lot of fun, to be honest. With our new allies, the dragons, we will burn the little dwarfs once and for all and purge them from these lands. There is only one place where they hide now. The Erebor, the mighty fortress of the dwarfs, but even this ancient place cannot save them now. The attack on the Erebor starts you off with a strike force that should clear Dale before the big attack begins. You get some useless orcs that stand in the corner and some trolls and catapults. I use them to destroy some buildings and loot the cash they drop. It's not that difficult, just don't go too far into range of the defensive towers because there are men of Dale with fire arrows in it. They will easily one-shot your trolls if you're not careful. After the raiding, my main force arrives with our heroes and builders. And oh man, this section took me a while to figure out. First, you get attacked by 3 sides. Actually 4, but well, we get to that later. And they mix their units, so pay attention, otherwise your trolls walk right into some dwarves with spears and impale themselves on them. Same goes for your Nazgûls. Why are there only 3 Nazgûls? Weren't there 4? Did one vanish or what? Okay, I don't care. Doesn't matter. I built up a defensive position and realized that I forgot to record the first bit. Okay, I will have to re-record it. Imagine if I wasn't that stupid, it would save me a lot of time. I built up a defensive position and placed my useless units in some towers away from danger while I build up. My heroes dismount from their horses to not get one-shotted by spears and take also defensive positions. The trolls from earlier leveled up to get auto heal and also have defensive duty now, while I construct my base even more. Okay, I finish my base and build some attack trolls to do the same strategy as last mission. And then I get attacked from behind and the fortress spawns right in the middle of my base? My defenses quickly die and I lose a lot. Why the fuck do you get attacked from behind your back? And my last save is about 30 minutes or so. Okay, I restart, build up my base and construct a fully upgraded fortress behind me because I'm gonna to need it and tighten my defenses. Then the attack doesn't begin I was waiting for? What? Okay, it seems like that you need to construct siege works to trigger the attack. I didn't knew that and waited like a fool. Weird trigger, but okay. The sneaky gotcha attack begins, but this time I'm ready and shred the units to pieces and the spawned fortress quickly dies. The enemies die one by one and I don't lose anything. Huh, that starting bit was something else and took me over 2.5 hours. Nice. So, my original plan stays the same. I built up an attack troll force and 1 drummer troll. When I'm finished, I send 1 troll, escorted by the mouth of Sauron, into the Erebor, where he gains XP until he reaches level 3 for auto heal. I do the same with buildings for the drummer troll, and then slowly level every single one of the attackers up. When I'm finished, I have a deadly force ready. I move them further into the Erebor and smash my way through some buildings, and I see there are fully leveled and upgraded spear dwarves guarding the Erebor. I know what to do. In a fair fight they would probably win and kill something, but I unlocked my first 20 PowerPoint spell from the spellbook, and I intend to use it. It's called Dragon Breath, or I think at least it is. One activation later, and almost every dwarf burns instantly, clearing my way to the Erebor. King Dane makes one last final stand, but gets quickly crushed by my trolls. Nice cry, King. Better luck next time. The trolls hammer the Erebor and it crumbles. I win. The Erebor is destroyed and the mission ends. The Erebor is conquered. The dwarves are utterly defeated and we crushed all their hopes. The dwarves are done for and we destroyed their home and crushed their bones. Only one thing stands between Sauron and total victory. Rivendell. The free people of Middle-earth rally there one last time to face off against Sauron, but to no avail. We will annihilate them. We are in the end game now. Rivendell is the last mission in the campaign and I bet it will be interesting. But let's start at the beginning. You start off with an orc force and must breach the perimeter of Rivendell to progress. I build up and start defensive production. The enemy will attack with the Lothlorien rangers, which deal massive damage and have high range, so I have to kite them into my towers, but for now we are kinda safe. After some exploration, I build my second hero, which is Dorgoroth the Dragon Lord. He's a better Nazgul with more damage and abilities. I'll put it to good use. I also built some giants to carefully destroy towers from afar. Honestly, I was surprised how easy it was. As I destroy some towers, Lady Galadriel shows her face again and wants to face me. I gladly put her life to an end as she gets shot by arrows over and over and over again until her lifeless body lies beneath me. She dies, and after her demise, eagles spawn. I have to micro my units into the towers to avoid any deaths, but at the end, I manage to take them out. I also get help from the Witch King and his Nazgûl. They prove very useful in killing eagles. Sometime later, and Dunedains arrive. Looks like we missed some in Fornost. No big deal, their corpses will soon burn. With them extinguished, the mouth of Sauron arrives, and with him my last reinforcements, which I also instantly place into towers, for safekeeping. Some slow clearing later, and the Fellowship of the Ring arrives. From behind, and I placed some catapults there, and they instantly die. Reload time, and this time there's no one they can kill, and I let my static defense take care of them. With them, the final wave of defenders is gone, and hopefully no one will come from behind again. Man, it feels almost like a prison shower. At last, our lord, the one and only Sauron arrives. He has over 10k HP and his abilities are absolutely ridiculous. He can spawn a Balrog, deal massive AoE damage with meteors, let his enemies tremble in fear, deal massive AoE in a shockwave, and lastly use the One Ring's power to constantly deal high area damage around Sauron. With this arsenal, there's no way I'm going to lose now. I use his abilities and clear a bit with Sauron. Oh man, he's so much fun to use. But all things must come to an end. And after I've had my fun, I let him destroy the last remaining objective, the House of Elrond, and with that, I finished the mission and the campaign. The free people of Middle-earth are defeated, and Middle-earth is under Sauron's rule.
Sauron's reign over the northern lands is unopposed, as the leaders of the free people are no more. Darkness now falls upon all of Middle-earth.
Thank you so much for watching. You can't believe how much it means to me. I love making these videos, and even more if people can enjoy them too. At first I thought that the evil campaign would be way more difficult than a good one, but honestly it was way more manageable than I thought. Some units like the giants and trolls are just too good if leveled up and microed properly. And it was really fun to play these strong units against so many enemies. I had a blast. As always, I will ramble a bit about stuff now, so feel free to close the video now. I also want to thank the YouTuber Giant Grand Games again for the inspiration of this series. I also want to thank my girlfriend again, who loves me and supports me no matter what. Love you. As always, I rewatched my videos and learned some new things in editing and recording. Hopefully, I could put them to good use here. If you have any suggestions what video I can do next, please let me know. Feel free to critique and criticize everything you see. Okay guys, stay healthy, be nice to each other, enjoy life, and game on!